Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at another legend team for the Open Great League. This time around from the last year's EOIC winner Tonto, so congrats to him to hit legend with one of his favorite Pokemons apparently, which is going to be the Hippowdon. Hippowdon got access to the move Sand Attack this time around, like this season, which is a completely new move, which I already showcased on this channel before, but I haven't really showcased a legend team for this one. So let's take a look at the team here as well. We're going to have a lead that's going to be double weak to something like a Lantern, and those Pokemon, of course, like Lantern in the electric type Pokemon, is going to be something great for our Hippowdon in the back. Hippowdon is going to be very good against them. Also, we're going to have this Say-Swap here of Annihilate, most likely my favorite Say-Swap for the Open Great League currently as well. So this team definitely has some good potential. A little bit of an awkward one is going to be something like a Whiscash in the back, because a Whiscash in the back can be tricky for our Hippowdon, but as you can see, we can at least get one charge move off. I wish I went for the Shadow Ball, but it is what it is. But as you're gonna see here now, we can still use another Night Sash to hopefully knock them out. Let's see how this is going to go. It is going to be connecting, and let's see what they have in the back. It's going to be a Poliwrath. This is not going to be easy. We're going to have our Hippowdon. We're going to generate energy a little bit faster than what the opponent is doing here. And this is going to be great, because like this, we all see here that they're actually running Power Punch. So this is going to be a little bit of a trickier one. Now we're going to be forced to use a bait here, and this bait is working out pretty well. But not only this, we're also going to be forced to catch a move onto our Mantine. But even like this, I'm not even sure if this is going to be enough to knock them out, because I don't know how much is Scorching Sands going to do here. It's a Shadow bonus here as well on it, and so we can actually knock them out and win this game. Next opponent coming through, we're going to have a very decent lead for us, I guess. Going to be Altaria, which is going to be fairly solid because we have the Ice Beam as an option, but we decided to go for the bait here first. The bait is coming through, is going to be able to connect and get the shield here from the opponent, so that's going to be great as well. Let's see, the opponent goes most likely for something like a Moonblast. Let's see, it is a Moonblast actually, and we can go for the Ice Beam to retaliate. At this point, even a Shadow Ball would be most likely enough to knock them out with the additional counter damage, but that looked a little bit buggy, but we were able to actually knock them out here, which is kind of great. In comes the Feraligatr, a Pokemon that I don't really want to face with my backline, but it is what it is. We can still try to go for a charge move here, but the opponent makes a great call going for the charge move at the same time as I get to my own. And so it is what it is. We can still get the Night Sash off, maybe get a boost here. We're gonna get the shield from the opponent. They can still go for another charge move here, which you're gonna shield up as well, like a Hydro Cannon from a Feraligatr, you know already, is doing a lot of damage, and it's going to be great because they have a Whiscash in the back. And I try to go for the Shadow Ball, knowing that they can still go for the Scald in time. I hope that they don't get a debuff. And they do not get a debuff here, which is very important, as now we're going to be able to get a lot of damage on them, but it's still not over. We have to try to catch a move here onto our Pokemon again. Here again, the Mantine was able to catch the move from the opponent. Scald is coming through, and so the opponent decides to forfeit. Next opponent coming through, a horrible lead for us. And this is something that I kind of want to talk a little bit about as well. This team worked pretty fair for me. Like, it is not the best team that I ever used. It was a lot of fun to use, which I have to say, like, this team was so much fun to use just because Hippowdon is like such a cool Pokemon to use. You have like fast Pokemon as well with the Annihilate, which is going to be a little bit more squishy, and also here I should have most likely went up to a Shadow Ball because this doesn't really help me at all. But also we're going to have our Mantine, which is going to be great for the current meta. So like this team itself has quite a lot of good Pokemon, but the teams I encountered were pretty tough a lot of times for this team, and so I think I played definitely 3 sets with it. I think I went 4-1, 3-2, and 2-3 with this team. So that's like the kind of sets that I had with it. So I went positive with it, but I didn't go like crazy positive where it was like out of the world. I think it was like a 9-6 total then at the end of the day. I think it is. So it is definitely still a solid team. Like 9-6, if you really think about it, is a great win rate for any kind of team if you can keep it up for a longer period of time. So this team was definitely not bad. But of course, there were better teams that I used as well before, but it's still, like, this team is a lot of fun. Hippowdon is a lot of fun, and honestly, Hippowdon is way better than I expected. I was not really expecting too much of this thing, but it was honestly so much fun to play. It was so fast, still was able to take a hit, and still did like a ton of damage. As you can see as well, we're debuffed, but I don't think it's going to be enough for this matchup anyway, as the opponent has still the Alone Sand Sash in the back, or like the Lantern in the back, never mind. We're going to sadly lose this game here, as the Aerial Ace is not going to do anything. We are most likely not going to be able to farm down with the HP stat that we had, and we can move on to the next opponent. Horrible lead again for us, and this is something that I just have to say as well. Like, it just happened quite often that we had like really bad matchups for us. We got hardwalled most of the times over this team. But at least like for this kind of feeling that we kind of got screwed up quite often with the Pokemon that we encountered, I feel like still this team did a great job for this. Like I definitely came back from a lot of very bad matchups as well. Here of course we're going to have a very, very bad matchup for us as well here. We're going to have the Trevenant against us. We can still at least get 2 shields from the opponent, which I feel like is the best play that I can do, because I feel like in a 1-0 shield scenario, the Pokemon that we have in the back here is going to have the best time. So I feel like this is going to be the best way of playing the Hippowdon. Also, like this, we're going to put the opponent to farm down range for our Mantine, which can be also very important, because I kind of want to get out of this matchup with a move stored. And we're also going to even go out here with an Ice Beam stored, because maybe it can help us in the back as well. But we don't know yet. We're going to see here that the opponent is going to have the Annihilate. I wish I had my Mantine against it, but like there was no way of realigning, and I was kind of expecting the Annihilate anyway based on the team that they were using. I think there was actually a team that I also showcased before, like what they are running right now, so it's kind of funny. But here we're still gonna see the power of the Hippowdon. As you can get off another charge move here, we were able to knock out the Pokemon prior. We have to go for the BM move, of course, like it is a Bastion. We are not gonna go for any charge move, we're gonna go for the wing attack down, which was insanely risky, but we don't care, we still win and we can move on. Next opponent, like literally, I think we have like 3 hard loss leads in a row now. We're going to see a very bad lead for us, and we're going to see also a very bad save swap for us, because we don't run Ice Punch. Nobody's really running Ice Punch anymore on the Annihilate in this kind of meta. And even an Ice Punch would not knock them out immediately, would still kind of put them into a range though where we would be able to farm down afterwards. Maybe I should have used a shield here. I think maybe using a shield could have helped us here, but I don't think it really does matter too much. What I try to do is I just try to go for the full farm down. There is no real reason for me to go for a charge move here. Yes, they're gonna get to their own charge move, and yes, they're gonna get me fairly low with it. But like, yeah, I'm gonna end up again against electric type anyway, so there's no real reason for me to keep my health there around, because I'm not gonna survive too many fast moves from the opponent. And so we just have to hope that there's something in the back that we can deal with. Honestly, Deoxys would usually be a Pokemon that we can deal with. Why? Because Deoxys has a very low HP stat, and so if we wouldn't be debuffed, our fast move would do a ton of damage, because we have a 1-turn fast move, and 1-turn fast moves against Deoxys are quite overpowered, because it just chunk away quite a lot, because the defense stat is crazy, but the HP stat is so low that basically you always do like 1 or 2 fast move damage anyway the entire time, and like with 1-turn moves you're just going to do way more damage against Deoxys with like any other fast move. It's just kind of wild. But here of course with the debuff it doesn't really matter, they're still going to be able to go for another charge move here, and so sadly we're going to lose this battle here, as I only have my Mantine with like a million energy, but it literally does not matter. We just still have a shield on the opponent's part. I'm still trying my best just in case they maybe want to let this move go through. They didn't, and so we move on. Next opponent coming up, we're going to have the Feraligatr. Feraligatr going to be a little bit of an awkward one for this team in general. Our lead is definitely the best matchup for it, I guess. We're going to be able to get an Aerial off here. It's going to be able to get them kind of low. And also we should be able to win every equal scenario here, I would imagine. This is going to be just the Hydro Cannon, so I can let this move go through, and I can overfarm as well a little bit here, but I decided to actually swap out and try to farm them down. Did not work out, but we're gonna get out the opponent's Annihilate, and sometimes I should just play it risky here and go for the Shadow Ball. Like, I usually, yeah, go for the Night Slash, they usually call it, but this time around, it does not matter, because we're going to have here the boost, and the boost is going to be great for us, as we now gonna get off another Night Slash. This would knock them out most likely, thanks to the boost, and we will see a shield coming up, and what the opponent's going to do here is going to be interesting as well. Are they going to go for the Shadow Ball? They decide to go for the Night Slash. Maybe I should have tried to call it as well. Then I would have had a potential sweep option here with my Annihilate. Like this, I'm going to be getting another boost, and this is going to be great, because I expected the opponent to swap out. I was not going for my charge move immediately, and so the Venusaur now has to deal with my Annihilate. But also, you know, we have a ton of energy on our Mantine, and yeah, like this, we can just let the move go through. They're not at 2 charge moves yet. We can go for the, I actually have Water Pulse on my Mantine here, which is kind of interesting, which maybe you didn't need, but it is what it is. I think that was like one of the earliest spells that I had. I think I swapped it later onto Ice Beam. I just didn't realize that it was Water Pulse. So yeah, Ice Beam would have been better here as well. You see Ice Beam on the side. I think Ice Beam is what they're most likely running as well. But Water Pulse does make a lot of sense as well. Here we're going to see a matchup that I don't enjoy with this team. It's going to be a Zoom Roll. Like, you don't have a clear-cut answer for a Zoom Roll. Not every team needs a clear-cut answer, but we have 2 very weak Pokemon to a Zoom Roll. So that's kind of an awkward one. I kind of wish that they would let the Shadow Ball go through in the beginning there, but I rather keep my advantage in terms of my shields because we lost the lead so hard. So we're gonna be able to go ahead and go for some aerial aces here, and maybe we can overfarm by quite a bit. But yeah, again, like we lost the elite so hard that we kind of needed to have somewhat of an advantage. In this case, the shield advantage is, I guess, the best one that I could get here. But again, like, I have to say, I basically lost the lead 90% of the time, I feel like, with this team, and I still came back from a lot of matchups, so it is still a very solid team. It's definitely still a team that you can use if you want to. Here, we're gonna see the Sandslash coming back in. Sandslash is going to be a tricky one for us to deal with. And yeah, the Sandslash is going to go for the Ice Punch. We're going to be able to go ahead and go for the Weather Ball, which is hopefully getting the shield from them. Would be great if it does, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit tricky. But sadly, they're going to be able to reach the next charge move in time, which I wish they didn't. I expect a Lantern in the back. I was correct with this. And yeah, so I have to hope that one Scorching Sands is enough, or I can still go for a Weather Ball. One Scorching Sands is not enough, and I cannot go for a Weather Ball. So yeah, this was very, very close. We were nearly able to still win this matchup, but like this, we sadly not. And so I can still try to go for one aerial ace here. If I had still a little bit more energy, I maybe would have been fine against the Sandslash, but I'm sadly not. And so we have to move on to the second to last battle of today. Honestly, I quite enjoy the matchup against the Dragonair. Like, it's not a bad matchup at all for us. We can go up to the Ice Beam, we can bait an Ice Beam, we can go for an aerial ace, and we can see what the opponent wants to do here. It is going to be a shield which is coming up, which is totally okay for me, because another aerial ace is going to get them into counter down range, and that's kind of what I want to do here. But they decide to even use another shield here. I try to catch a body slam. Did not really work out too much, but it is what it is. Awkward Tail is going to be shielded here. They might be able to get another shield from me, but at this point, why not just go for the full farm down? I think we should be able to do that. Awkward Tail is not going to be enough for us, and they're going to go ahead and go into a Lantern. While this is kind of nice for our Mantine, we're also kind of in an awkward spot, because they can farm me down. But they didn't, and so that's totally fine for me. But they would have been able to farm me down, and then they would have had a ton of energy and some surfs loaded. So I'm quite happy that they didn't, and so I can go for the full farm down here. I just had to use a shield because surf super effective, don't really like this. But the surf is coming through here. We're gonna be able to go for the full farm down. In comes what is coming in. Let's find out. It's going to be the Dragonair again. And they make a crucial mistake here. For whatever reason, they decide to go for the body slam instead of the super effective Awkward Tail. And this does matter quite a bit, because as you're gonna see here, it's going to be Greedent in the back. We have to go for another Scorching Sands, but we also have to get some damage onto the opponent here first. And as you can see, the opponent goes for a body slam. It's not going to be enough, and we get the aerial ace off. And this changes my plan a little bit, because now I can just go for the Weather Ball. They're in range for a Weather Ball easily here. I should be able to win CMP tie, because Greedent is fairly bulky and we are kind of like mid-range in terms of bulk. And so I have to hope that I can still win against the Dragonair. And again, I would have lost this battle if they didn't go for the body slam instead. But like this, we can farm them down. And let's move on to the final battle of today. Another dragon in the lead. So, this is going to be also okay for us. We're going to be able to go for a charge move straight away, I guess, maybe not. Here, maybe I make a little bit of a mistake. Because I should have most likely swapped out immediately into my Annihilate, because of course it's going to be the better matchup for me. But I thought maybe it's better to just try to catch a move. Did not work out. And I also tried to get some extra energy, of course, for the Dragonite for later on. But Crunch is coming through, defense drop. This is really crucial for them, because like this, if they want to use a shield here, which they don't, they would have been able to maybe force a shield from me as well, but look at the damage of Dragon Breath. But still, they're gonna go for a charge move, so I can let this move go through. We got them a little bit low already, which is kind of great, because maybe Weather Ball can come in clutch later on, but I fear that there's going to be a Lantern in the back, and I was correct with that. But what really can I do now? We're still stuck in this matchup for a little bit, so I have to swap out now into my Hippowdon, but the opponent is going to be able to just go for the Surf Spam. They have an energy advantage, and I don't really know what I should do here, and I don't know if this was the correct call. Like, Scorching Sands has a 30% chance to drop the opponent's attack. I was not able to do this, and honestly, I have to say, for like all the Scorching Sands, I think I got like one debuff in the beginning, which literally didn't matter at all. I never really was lucky with the Scorching Sand debuff as well, so I feel like this team has so much more potential than what I can really showcase here, because I felt like I was a little bit unlucky with it. But maybe we can still win this game. It is going to be a tough one. We can knock them out here, but we had to try to catch a move, which did not work out, and so sadly, the Ice Beam is not going to be enough, and we're going to lose this final battle. I should be able to get a sand attack off, which I didn't. Like, usually you would be able to knock them out with a one-turn move before, but Surf gonna knock me out, and that's going to be it for the opponent. So that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Definitely a team that I would recommend you to actually try out. I think it's a decent team to use. I think it is sometimes a little bit tough in terms of the leads that I got here, but yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.